10 credible sources? What does that even mean?
Did I hear a call for help?
No.
I'm Library Man, your library's superhero.
We're your library superheroes to the rescue. I am Super Source, here to help you find the most credible sources, laughing in the face of danger.
Dude, I've got this.
All right, sorry.
How can we help you?
Well, I have to write a research paper, and I need 10 credible sources, but I don't really know what a credible source is.
I can...
We can. Team Library Superhero, the dynamic duo.
Whatever. We can definitely help you with that.
Well, it says I'm supposed to talk about laughter.
All right. The first thing you have to do is figure out where to find sources that count as credible. Credible sources are ones that are based on evidence and facts. These sources are written by experts, scholars, or researchers in a given field.
Journalists can write credible sources too, and major magazines have editors and fact-checkers who make sure the information is as accurate as possible.
Where do you usually look first when you're starting your research?
I don't know. Google or Wikipedia, I guess?
Google and Wikipedia are great for some things, but aren't going to cut it for college-level research papers.
What's wrong with Google and Wikipedia?
Well, it's not that they're necessarily bad. Wikipedia can be a good place to start for background info and can have great links. But since anyone can edit it, it's not always accurate. A better place to start might be
an encyclopedia. You can access a few of them through library databases. Encyclopedias are like Wikipedia, but fact-checked.
Yes, Google has a lot of really great resources too, but it also has a lot of not-so-great resources, and it can be hard to tell the difference. That's why starting your search in the library databases is a better idea.
The articles in the databases present a lot of views on a lot of topics, and they've been evaluated either by peer reviewers in scholarly journals or by fact-checkers and editors. People have spent time making sure that their information is correct.
Some web resources also go through this evaluation, but not all of them, and that's the problem. When you use the library databases, you can find all sorts of things. Newspaper articles, magazine articles, and also articles from peer-reviewed journals, which only publish articles other experts sign off on.
You need to make sure that the information you use is the right information for your particular paper. Another type of source you might see is called a trade publication.
Wait a minute, trade publication?
Trade publications are journals that are written specifically for people in certain fields, like teachers, lawyers,
or superheroes. Well, maybe not superheroes. Anyway, trade publications can be great credible sources, but it's important to remember that they may not be peer-reviewed.
Okay, so that means anything in the databases is fine to use. Awesome! I'll just use the first 10 articles that show up.
Not so fast. You're going to want to carefully consider what you need for your paper. Let's take another look at the assignment sheet.
Let's see. Find 10 credible sources to include in your research paper. You must have at least one scholarly article, at least one newspaper or magazine article, and at least one website. All of them need to be from credible sources. Shoot, this is going to be harder than I thought.
Don't worry, it's a lot easier than it sounds.
So, what am I looking at here?
What you're looking at is an academic article. They're also sometimes called peer-reviewed, scholarly, or just plain academic sources.
Academic articles usually have an abstract, a paragraph that summarizes the article, lots of charts and diagrams, and they're written in very academic language. They're super!
Okay, calm down. Magazine articles and newspaper articles use simpler language and will be illustrated with photos. They also have fewer references.
Are articles from academic journals always okay to use?
Usually, but you still need to evaluate them to make sure they'll work for your paper. Here are some questions you can ask yourself. Where was this published? Did it appear in a source that is fact-checked?
Who wrote it? Are they an expert in their field?
Does what the source say seem plausible based on what you know about the field?
Do any other experts agree with it?
In general, a credible source will have been written by an expert and be approved by other experts or fact-checkers. Sometimes it takes a while for new information to be evaluated.
And that's why you want to include information from more than one source to cover the whole issue. This is true of articles you find in the library databases and also articles or chapters you find in books or on the web.
But where do I find magazine articles or newspaper articles?
Many databases have ways you can refine your results.
Yeah, and you can limit results by source type. You can also search for these items on the web, but you'll have to be more careful there because not everyone on the web is an expert.
So, what are some clues that someone is an expert?
Let's think about it. What are some reasons you might have for trusting the writer of an article?
Well, when I read the article, it should seem plausible in light of what I already know. There should be nothing there that seems totally off base. Plus, It's nice when it looks like the writer has interviewed lots of university professors and researchers, which seems like a relevant way to get information.
Good point, student. Those are good initial strategies to use when looking at a piece of writing.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Hi. Oh, hey, superheroes. So I'm writing a research paper, and I need to have a newspaper or a magazine as a source. While I was reading it, I saw something really weird in this one newspaper, and I'm not sure if it's reliable information.
Interesting. What did you read?
Well, my friend sent me a link to this article, and it seems kind of crazy. It says that mosquitoes don't actually need our blood because they mostly feed on pollen, just like bees.
So, they bite us to be mean. That makes no sense.
Let us see the website.
Sure. See?
Hey, wait a minute. This article doesn't have any links to the research. And there's no author's name listed. If I search for articles about mosquitoes in the databases or online, nothing like this comes up. It looks like the article is the only place that says mosquitoes bite us for fun. Hey, I just remembered that The Onion, where this is published, is a site that's satire of newspapers. And if I look at the other headlines, none of them sound very likely to be reliable either. The Onion even confirms that it is a satire on its FAQ page, but you have to dig pretty deep into the website to find that. I guess they want it to look like a regular newspaper.
So do you think this site would be a good source for a paper?
Maybe for a paper that's talking about fake websites. Other than that, no way. If these articles were credible, some other sources would mention them too. So this doesn't seem very credible.
Exactly. Sites like The Onion can look credible, and lots of smart people are tricked by them, so you have to be careful.
It looks like everyone is safer if they use credible sources. Safer from bad grades, and safer from accidentally writing things that aren't true.
Yes, there's a lot of information out there, and believe it or not all of it's true.
Thanks for your help, superheroes. I think I understand now how I can tell if a source is credible or not credible. Now I can go on doing my research.
No problem. I'm going to take my lunch break now.
Because we're super hungry, right?